7 minutes. Title of the speech is My Greatest Fear. Steve Yakshaw, My Greatest Fear.
My greatest fear. Actually, it should be plural. My greatest fears. And I'm not talking about the incidental fears that we have with a policeman following us thinking you're going to get a ticket or running across the street in busy traffic. I'm talking about fears that are crippling, that stop you. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. I learned about that when I was 17 years old, the fear of rejection. I got my driver's permit and I thought, I'm going to ask that pretty girl out for a date. But boy, I just didn't want to be rejected. And finally, I mustered up enough and I asked her out for a date. And darn it, she accepted. I still remember going to the movie Topaz, Alfred Hitchcock. Did I ask for a kiss at the end? No, because I didn't want another rejection. But you know, I broke through that fear. The fear of rejection. At age 55, I hit another fear. The fear of vulnerability. That's what I'm here for today. I'm at Toastmasters. The fear of vulnerability. I'm standing in front of you. You're all looking at me. You're writing on your little pieces of paper that I'm not talking to you, that I'm not projecting my voice well enough. That's being vulnerable. And that's scary. That's a horrible fear. When I first joined Toastmasters, I could barely remember my first name in my icebreaker. Today, I'm up here and I'm giving a speech because I'm breaking through that fear of vulnerability. Now you'd think, can we stop there? No, at age 55, I hit a fear that I thought I was not going to hit until I was 100 years old. The fear of death. My 15-year-old son is responsible for that. One day he said, Dad, do you do anything else besides root canals in the Navy? And I said, no, that's pretty much it, but I have potential to get orders to go to parachute jump school. You ought to go, Dad. Now I'm stuck. I got to go to jump school. I am petrified with heights. There is not a person here that is not afraid of heights. I remember 4 o'clock in the morning, we're mustering. It is pitch dark, and there is a first sergeant up there saying, is anybody here not afraid of heights? And there are a fistful of people out of 120 that raise their hand. He goes, drop your hands, you're a liar. And I was there. I'm petrified of this whole thing. 3 parts to jump school. Ground school, which is pretty much exercising, getting yourself in shape. Second part is tower school. You're jumping out of 45-foot towers. You're learning how to put on your equipment. You're hoping to God everything's on correctly. And the last week is you're physically making your parachute jumps. 2,000 feet, you have about 1 minute to hit the ground, and there's a lot of decision makings or you will die. And to prove that during the second week, the jump master, they loaded a 180-pound dummy and it raised it to a tower. And they said, is everybody listening to us? Because if you're not, this is what's going to happen. Click, whoom, just hit the ground. That scared the daylights out of everybody. They started listening. Well, that was my fear of death at 55 years old. Now at 70 years old, I'm attacking another fear that incorporates all 3 of those fears. The fear of ballroom dancing. Now, women love to dance a little bit more than men, but to ask a man to come out on the dance floor, they'll have to change their underwear. But I tell you, it was a fear that I decided to take. And what I would do is I would go up to a woman. I said, would you care to dance? The fear of rejection. She's probably seen me dance before and said, I want nothing to do with you, Steve. But then when I finally get someone to accept it, they come out on the dance floor and I take my posture. I'm looking at the line of dance. I'm waiting for the 1 count on a 6-count waltz. And I'm thinking, are you ready? And I do my preparation step. I do a natural turn. I come back for a box step. This is the fear of vulnerability. To stand in front of somebody, there are got 10, 12 couples out there, but everybody's looking at me, at least in my brain. So I finish my box step. And I go into a hesitation step because there's somebody in front of us. And I come into a reverse. The fear of death is now upon me because I'm about to have a heart attack. There is not a time that I'm dancing that my heart is pounding out of here. And I'm hoping somebody on that floor knows CPR. They're going to be pounding on my chest saying, "Get up, Steve, get up. You got to finish that last box step." And I get up and I take my box step and I decide I'm going to put her into a turn here in a moment. And we're going to finish off this dance. And I thank her for a wonderful dance. What it all boils down to are fears can stop you from living. You have to break through those fears. If you don't, you're not living. Churchill said, "Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision." I beg all of you to have the courage to break through those greatest fears that you have. Mr. Toastman.